Yeah. So again, welcome. And today I have selected a few things by Tagore, uh, a couple things from Gitanjali, and then another poem, not from Gitanjali, but yes. So let's see what the process that we use for those of us who are here for the first time. So we just look through the lines for some time, and then one by one we share our reflections on it, and then I later on I share my reflections, or if there are any questions or doubts, then we collectively try to talk about it. So this is verse number 23 from Gitanjali, and I'll just go through it, and then we can take a pause and see what comes to us. Art thou abroad on this stormy night on thy journey of love, my friend? It's almost like a few lines of yearning. Art thou abroad on this stormy night on thy journey of love, my friend? The sky groans like one in despair. I have no sleep tonight. Ever and again I open my door and look out on the darkness, my friend. I can see nothing before me. I wonder where lies thy path. By what dim shore of the ink black river, by what far edge of the frowning forest, through what mazy depth of gloom art thou threading thy course to come to me, my friend. So let us take a pause, and then one by one, whatever is coming to you, again we share it in context of how you personally relate with that, or maybe any guesses on what he's talking about, and that is where we take it forward from. So yeah, just let's take a pause, and then we will share our reflections one by one. Yeah, anything that comes to you, Aditi, Swapna? Yes,
Yeah,
Swapna.
for me, Monica, it speaks to me time, and relating to the lines are uh, because I'm facing a challenging time and a big challenge, and so it's like it immediately these words pacify something in me, to be heard, to have someone underscore. It's like these words are talking to a deeper essence in myself, because my outer can feel that it's a stormy night, that the sky groans, and yet it's like a wiser, deeper, or almost like the psychic saying and addressing that um, despairing or troubled part of myself, and giving a lot of comfort. I actually feel it quite palpably in my even in my body to help settle. And yeah, it's very comforting. And yeah, like, the see nothing before me, I wonder where lies thy path. And there's been that feeling and that thought several times. or versions of it. Um, and yet there's such promise in these lines of salvation from this challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. Aditi, anything that comes to you right now?
So for me, Monica, just one thought is coming that uh, though the lines are talking about darkness or getting lost, confusion, but for me right now, maybe in my state of mind, I just feel that somebody else has also felt it. So it just makes me feel less alone right now. That though it's not clear, but I think we all are in it together. That's what's coming up for me right now.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Both of you, shared beautifully that first of all, it's, Tagore, if people like him have felt this darkness, we are not alone. That's so true that we are not alone in this journey. The whole of mankind is going through this journey. Some people talk about it and some don't. It doesn't mean that we are not going through this darkness. In this particular one, I believe it's more like, he has a faith. It appears that he has a faith and he's calling to the higher in me, to the higher essence in me, to the higher self in me, like a friend. So the light in me which is not yet visible, I can see only darkness. So how he starts, art thou abroad? So he's asking, are you here? Are you abroad? Are you with me? Because many a times we feel just lost and we feel abandoned. मतलब होगा भगवान कहीं होगा, but मेरे को दिखता तो नहीं है ना, मतलब what is the guarantee? Are you there? So it's like that. It's with that plea. He starts with, art thou abroad on this stormy night on thy journey of love? And he knows that he's coming to me. He's saying that you, my friend, the higher self, you are also looking for me. So he says, are you abroad on this stormy night on thy journey of love? As if you are coming to me, oh friend, my friend. Huh? The sky groans like one in despair. I have no sleep tonight. I'm sure we can relate with this in our tough times. Ever and again, I open my door. I look out on the darkness, my friend. Again and again, you see some light, some light. Will it come? Will it not come? You're just again and again opening the door. I can see nothing before me. I wonder where lies thy path. So he's asking, if you are coming to me on this journey of love, my friend, to be with me, where are you? Because I can't see your path. I can't trace your steps. I can't see any light. All I see is just blank darkness. By what dim shore of the ink black river, by what far edge of the frowning forest, through what mazy depth of gloom art thou treading thy course to come to me? So he knows that the friend is coming to me. That surety is there, that certitude is there. Yeah. But he doesn't know because he can't see. He can't see the friend coming. The light, the friend, the love, he can't see it coming. And that's why this yearning, this kind of a pleading that where are you? I can't see you. What is the way that you are taking? And I think this mazy depth of gloom again refers to these states that we go through, phases in our life that we go through, amazing, confusing, challenging, gloom, sadness, despair, frowning forest, a confusion, and there is sadness, you don't know what to do about it. Ink black river, what dim shore? So even if there is a shore on which you are treading to come to me, I can't see the shore. I can't see the way you are coming to me, because all I see right now is darkness. Yeah, but the thing is that he knows that the friend is coming to him. That surety is there, that certitude is there. I think that is also there with all prayers and meditations of the mother. No matter how challenging phase mother is going through, a certitude is always there. So mother always closes with the certitude that I know you are there, and there must be some work that I have to do in my challenge or darkness or depth. That's why you have sent me there. So that certitude is there. I think that certitude, if we can keep with us, no matter how streak of a certitude it may be, in our darkest challenges, I think that really helps to sail us through. Because many a times things become challenging. Nothing is helping. One just has to go through and persevere in faith. Yeah.
Yeah, Monica, I appreciate this kind of reminder of always having the faith, and perhaps that's what's so comforting, to be feeling and being reminded that the certitude exists, because when the doubts come in, it can be harder for me to, even though I logically and intellectually know, to have the absolute faith that the divine is there. uh, Still, this is very heartening and uplifting to have that embedded in it.
Absolutely. Yes. Totally. Yeah. Whenever I have been through such tough phases, thankfully, as long as I have known Savitri, whenever I pick Savitri and read a few lines, there you see that this is not you alone. As Aditi was mentioning in the beginning, this is not you alone, this is the whole journey of mankind. So you cannot just escape so easily from darkness. We have to go through darkness and slowly persevere in faith, and then transform all the darkness in our life to light, which Savitri did, for example, in case of that the story, and how Sri Aurobindo has written it. So if you read, even if a few lines of Savitri are read, you clearly see that, oh my God, तब से चला आ रहा है ये केस, यहाँ का अभी का नहीं है, मेरे साथ कोई स्पेशल नहीं हो रहा. आई एम नॉट स्पेशल पर्सन हु इज गोइंग थ्रू अ चैलेंज. Sri Aurobindo, mother, all the people who have trodden this earth, they have gone through all the challenges. And it is, if it was so easy, one sutra would be enough. But why is there tons of scriptures written, and masters and masters and avatars have come, and even then the mankind almost remains the same. So the task is a tough task. It's not an easy task that we have at hand. The transformation of whole nature, it's not an easy task. And whenever I read even a few lines of Savitri, as Swapna, you were saying, it comforts me. It tells me that I'm not alone. And hence I can just be with faith, in faith for some time, and go through this time, which too shall pass, and I will learn and grow through this time even better. Yeah. So again, for me, Savitri is also very uplifting for times where it's confusing, especially for those times where it is confusing, because there you have an intensity to go through the words of illumination, because you are seeking, you want light. In day to day life, when everything is going okay, okay, that intensity is not there. So in challenging times, we have an intensity owing to the pain or sorrow or sadness. So I think we can use that intensity to dig deeper and be with ourselves even more, kind, not leave our side, be by your side all the time. Yeah. So okay, let's take another one. This is verse 13 from Gitanjali again. This is also very beautiful. The song that I came to sing remains unsung to this day. I have spent my days in stringing and in unstringing my instrument. The time has not come true. The words have not been rightly set. Only there is the agony of wishing in my heart. The blossom has not opened. Only the wind is sighing by. I have not seen his face, nor have I listened to his voice. Only I have heard his gentle footsteps from the road before my house. The livelong day has passed in spreading his seat on the floor, but the lamp has not been lit, and I cannot ask him into my house. I live in the hope of meeting with him, but this meeting is not yet. So let's take a pause and then we will share one by one what comes to us. Yes, anyone who is ready to share?
So, Monica, I'll share.
Yeah.
Um, I think with me, it really resonates deeply. These lines resonate deeply with me, maybe given where I am in my life and in my journey. And I think I've shared with you earlier as well, but I increasingly keep feeling that all my life experiences so far have been in preparation to something which probably hasn't fully revealed itself to me till now. But I also know that it's in the process of revealing itself. It's a slow process, but and sometimes I find myself getting very impatient and desperate that uh, I want to know it all and it should just reveal itself and I should like just move in that direction faster. But I also am beginning to understand that it will happen in its own time. I cannot, it doesn't come with a remote control where I can press the fast forward button. But the good thing is that the direction is emerging, and I think the details will slowly appear over time. So when I listen to these words that the light is still not there, I cannot invite him in. So I think for me that light is slowly beginning to emerge, and it just needs to get brighter and brighter for me to be able to invite what I have been waiting for probably all this while for the last 42 years or so. So yeah, that's what is coming up for me now, and I'll share as something comes later.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah, anything from Swapna or Komla ji if you're ready.
Yeah, Monica, I totally agree with what my colleague just spoke. That too, for me, I could say ditto. And I also see this, the inner and the outer. So in terms of the song that I came to sing remains unsung to this day. And I went to, oh, there's been a sense of wanting to express something out in the world, an offering of what and who I am, that my soul was born to do, that hasn't yet fully come to fruition. And as I read the rest of the lines, it seemed to go deeper and deeper inside in terms of also this longing for communion with the divine, a sense of that I have a living connection with the mother that I can tangibly feel and hear. That is being echoed in these lines. Also, like, you know, I have heard his gentle footsteps from the road before my house. So it's this, yeah, you know, from the road before my house, exactly, you know, and yeah, I love this. The live long day has passed and spreading his seat on the floor. So it's that, you know, it's like a whole life of longing and hoping to feel it somehow more deeply, this deeper connection. And then somehow in this moment I also think about but the lamp has not been lit and I cannot ask him into my house, of like that being somehow then my responsibility, you know, like, oh, what have I not yet done? You know, why has the lamp not been lit? And why can't I ask him into my house? Because from all I know of the divine and the mother, they're already inside, for one thing. And secondly, they're not at all reluctant or reticent about coming in. So what's that about, you know, making me contemplate that aspect. Yes, and the last line seems to echo that very much too, that this meeting is not yet, you know.
Yeah, beautiful.
So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Yes, Komlaji, anything from you?
Hi, good afternoon. Actually, I'm still reading the lines and trying to interpret. So I'll take a little bit
Take your
longer. By
yeah.
the time we can start discussing. And
Okay. Okay. You know, Mother has shared, and I have also felt strongly, very, very strongly, and shared in many, many sessions also, that each of us is absolutely a speck of dust, very ordinary, and yet each of us is absolutely special. There is no one like each one of us amongst billions. You know, each one of a billion is special. Yeah. And Mother also shares that each human being is very, very unique. And what we have to do in this particular life is to bring forth that expression, as Swapna shared. That expression has to be brought forward. You know, that is what Mother calls as psychic personality. So once we begin on this path of purifying ourselves of all the horrible mixture of the ego and all the vital demands and desires, it has to be purified. Otherwise, the psychic personality does not come forward. Yeah, and Mother has shared something which I would like to share right now, because I think it is very relevant. Just a second. Um, yeah. Yes, so here Mother is sharing the question that Mother is reflecting upon is, what is my place in the universal work? Anyone can ask this question, you know, what is my role in this universe? Everyone has a role uniquely his own, which he alone can play to perfection when he is in tune with the infinite within himself. Now, this task has to be done. Mostly we are not in tune with the infinite within ourselves. We are in tune with the ego mostly, and that is our task, that is the adventure. That yes, knowing that all of us are ruled by ego and desires and ambitions and greed, can I slowly also yearn and be willing, so that I am in tune with the infinite in myself? No doubt most people forgetting this are apt to run on false trails. So a whole lifetime is spent and I am just running a false trail. It is not my own, it is not my uniqueness which is expressing itself out. It is just something which I have gotten stuck to. Yeah? Injure them and feel frustrated. So once I pick up a false trail, I just injure myself and I feel frustrated. But then it is not all that easy to know what exactly is one's true vocation. Mother is saying it's not easy to know what truly am I made for. Yeah. And then in the beginning, she says that in the beginning, when you are confused, you don't know what is your true vocation in this and your place in universal work. What we can do is to follow with honesty and goodwill a provisional occupation. Anything that is given to you comes to you. Any job, any workplace, any physical place that comes to you, you do with honesty and goodwill any provisional occupation that will engage our talents and energies, hoping that sooner or later the mist will clear and we will discover or stumble upon our true vocation. Hmm? And the decisive turn comes when not feeding the feeding when not the feeding of ravenous ego but love of the earth and men is the real motive or force behind our actions. This is mother saying that decisive turn it, like from self-centered activity, you turn it into something which is more like a self offering. And then mother is sharing that how to find out what you are good at, how to find that unique blossoming which is talked about in this verse of Gitanjali. You know, that the song that I came to sing remains unsung to this day. I'm writing this poem and I know that I have not really blossomed fully the task that I came to do. Yeah. Then mother shares that one should tell ourselves there must be certainly something I can do better than anyone else. And this is with all of us. All of us are, for example, you know, what Aditi can do effortlessly. For me, it would be a lot of effort, and maybe I'm not able to do it. What Swapna can do, what Komla can do, others cannot do, or Aditi cannot do, I cannot do. So, all of us have something with us, many things with us which come to us effortlessly, like we like to give ourselves there. So mother is sharing there must certainly be something I can do better than anyone else, since each one of us is a special mode of manifestation of the divine power which is one in all. However humble and modest it may be, whatever you are good at, this is precisely the thing to which I should devote myself. So, any little thing that you catch yourself that I am good at this, mother is sharing that devote yourself to that, give more time to that thing which comes naturally to you. And in order to find it, I shall observe and analyze my tastes, my tendencies, my preferences, and I shall do it without pride or excessive humility. Whatever others may think, I shall do it just as I breathe, just as the flower smells sweet, quite simply, quite naturally, because I cannot do otherwise. So mother is sharing that this there has to be a complete interest in your life. That yes, I want to find this out, and this interest should be so effortless that it becomes the way of your being. You are so interested in life that you observe carefully, you observe your tendencies, your tastes, your preferences, what are you good at, maybe observe people around me. So it should come effortlessly, it will become a way of being. Now when this happens, when I make this a way of my being, I see that slowly there is a kind of a okayness that I get with myself, that I'm okay being myself. I'm doing something which I know I love to do. And this is how you slowly blossom the psychic personality in you which you are born for. Most of the time we are not aware, a whole lifetime is passed by in a job, in something which I don't even like to do, and I don't even question that. I don't take the time out to observe. So I connected this with when Tagore here is saying that I have spent my days in stringing and in unstringing my instrument. So all the mechanical aspects are going on. Mechanical strings are just outer side. So the mechanics is going on. The time has not come true. The words have not been rightly set. Only there is the agony of wishing in my heart. So I wish still. It's like an agonizing wish that yes, there is something I'm supposed to do which I'm not really at it. Hmm? The blossom has not opened. Something in him knows that something has not happened. So this light in us is always guiding light, a light that knows that something beautiful is to happen, must happen. This something is missing. Yeah. Only the wind is sighing by. So when the wind sighs by, the blossom takes a kind of a sway. So it touches, the wind touches the blossom, but it's not flowering. Yeah. I have not seen his face. Now I believe he's talking about this awakening of inner Godhead within us, which is again a task for all of us human beings in this life. Yeah. I have not seen his face, nor have I listened to his voice. Only I have heard his gentle footsteps from the road before my house. So he's maybe touched very closely, maybe when we get inspired by people, when we see somebody doing something. So this inspiration is also because you are getting a glimpse of that beauty which is possible in you. Yeah. So that he says that I have heard the gentle footsteps. I know that you are close. I know that he's close, but it's not yet happened for me. That I know. Hmm? The livelong day has passed in spreading his seat on the floor. So I have been preparing. It's not that I have not been preparing. I'm preparing the day so that I can honor and place the Godhead in my being, lighten up the spark which belongs to me in my being. But the lamp has not been lit. Now, this I believe it is a reference of, like how we do puja or prayer or reference to a temple. The lamp has to be lit in the temple. It refers, I believe, to a purifying aspect of our own selves. We have to slowly, gradually purify and refine ourselves if we want to install this living presence of Godhead within us. Without purification, it's not going to happen. It has never happened. So a constant purification is our task then. Yeah. The lamp has not been lit. The moment the lamp is lit, it means you are praying. You are in a, the deity is in there. That's where you light the lamp. Whenever in mandir we light the lamp, we feel that the deity is there. That is a surety. So he's saying that it's not yet happened. I am just doing preparations, and those are also important, but preparations are going on. I can hear him nearby, but it has not happened with me. I know something more is to happen, and I cannot ask him into my house. So he's also saying that so far, with this much of preparation, I cannot ask him in my house. I know that there is more preparation needed, more purity needed. Yeah. I live in the hope of meeting with him, but this meeting is not yet. Yeah. So again, perseverance, as Mother shares, is the cornerstone of this spiritual path, because although one may want it to happen very soon, anything to happen very soon, but somehow things take their own course of time. सो धैर्य और परसिवियरेंस, धीरज, धीरे धीरे रे मना, धीरे सब कुछ होए, माली सींचे 100 घड़ा, ऋतु आए फल होए. सो यहाँ पे अभी ऋतु नहीं आई है. द सीजन हैज नॉट कम, बट द नर्चर इज गोइंग ऑन. या एनीथिंग, एनीवन?
Monica, I was just thinking of something that, that bit that you spoke about, that bit about being effortless, right? Like something that you can do effortlessly. And that probably becomes the distinguishing factor between two people, you and me, or others in the group, and so on. And I was just thinking that it's so strange that I mean, typically in our culture here in India, for sure, since childhood, it's always like hard work, go against the obstacles. And I'm not saying there's anything against, following that. I mean, that's always, a good thing to do, that you don't give up at the first sight of an obstacle. But still, we start associating with the hardships and obstacles so much that we even forget if something is easy, something we are able to accomplish smoothly and easily, and feel good in the process, we start to question ourselves that, oh, we got it so easily, is it even worth it? Oh, I mean, what did I, what I mean, the associations with hardship and outcomes become so strong that that whole joy of effortlessness starts to take a backseat. So I think somewhere in my life right now, I'm really trying hard to tell myself that, what, if you're good at it, it will be effortless and it's fine. You don't have to question or doubt yourself that, oh, did I do enough, and to get that outcome. So I think it's a very important milestone for us in our journeys. And also as parents, I keep reminding myself that not everything has to be like just break the wall and get it. It can just be done at your own pace, and making sure that it's a joyful experience as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was something that I just wanted to share with everybody.
Yeah. I believe that pushing uh, is also, as you are saying, you also said that it has its own purpose. Although, but we forget, I think you're right, absolutely, when you say that the hard work becomes then too overrated. We overrate it. So anything that is not coming through hard work is then not enough. That's what I think you wanted to share. So mother also shares a lot. Yeah, please share. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I was just saying that yes, you absolutely said it. That hard work becomes overrated. We
Yeah.
just we start associating accomplishments with hard work. We don't really even notice something which we achieve joyfully or effortlessly, because
Beautiful.
in our brain we are not even we are not tuned to even register that as a accomplishment, or a joy. So yeah,
Yeah,
you just said it absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah. So, mother shares about education of children also. She has extensively written a lot or said a lot. So there, one thing is there that first of all, those unique trait, a child is born with something special. All children have some unique special capabilities. We were also children once, yeah, and those have to be nurtured. But along with that, those also have to be nurtured which are not yet his strengths. These are his strengths. Here he can work effortlessly and not get tired. But here, whenever he does even a minute of a work, he gets tired. So these things have to be also expanded slowly along with the only effortless things. Why? Because then it leads to a development of a wideness in the being, like a wideness of the mind, suppleness of the mind. So both things are necessary, but I completely buy you when you are saying that hard work has become overrated, and in that we have lost sight of what comes effortlessly to me. So it's good to have this discussion, and then to again in kind of microscopically look back at myself and actually try to find out, what am I really good at, what can I do without feeling tired. For hours I can do that and I don't feel tired. What is that thing? So would I like to spend some time there also, along with the other stuff? Yeah. Yeah, anyone, anything else?
I think I noticed for me many times what I love to do, which is something that brings me in touch with my inner self, with a sense of peace. Like, really, I noticed the difference between, just like, for example, when we started the session and reading those lines, and it was really like a full body somatic experience of the shift from my earlier state. And then I often I stumble upon, but it needs to serve others. It needs to make money, or it needs to be a profession, or it needs to, if not make money, even voluntarily. It's like the offering beyond just myself then is where I often end up having a big hiccup, and then it can ricochet back on myself, like boomerang back and hit me on the head and go, well, that's not good, like just being wanting to commune with the divine, that can't be enough, even though I know that's essentially the reason we incarnate. So it's, yeah, I've never
Yeah.
quite, yeah.
A rose flower, for example, or any flower, any lotus or rose, it's just being itself. A rose flower is just being the rose flower, and by that it serves the purpose to humanity. A cow is just being herself, and by that it serves the purpose to humanity, yeah, or everyone else. A lotus or air or water, it's just itself, and that is how it serves, because it is itself. The problem that has happened with us human beings, owing to the so many capabilities we are not ourselves. We have forgotten who we are. We are not really ourselves, and that is what it means that the blossom has not opened. I'm not fully myself. And when you ask or share this thing, that the moment you begin on this path, touching those places where you like to be, doing things where you like to do, immediately the mind kicks in and it says that you are not serving the purpose. Just tell the mind that first let me be myself, because that itself is your purpose. If you are truly who you are supposed to be, it is not possible that you would not be offering to the world. It is not possible. We are not made that way. Rabindranath Tagore, why he served so many people? Because he worked on being truly himself. All the people who have given something to the world, they worked on being or finding out who they truly were, and then being themselves, truly, honestly, shamelessly. I think that itself is their offering. And then the byproducts are the work they leave for the rest of humanity. So I think not given to the mind again and again, because the mind will always be lurking around with doubts, confusions, and all kind of things by which it can perpetuate the ego a little more. That is the task somehow. And we have to constantly keep on putting it down or keeping it aside, that let me just stick to or find out who I truly am, and kind of nurture this blossoming of my being, because that itself is enough. That is the biggest offering that we can offer to this world. And again, it is underrated. It is underrated because all we see that that if something is not happening in the external world, you are not enough. That is what we say. But we rarely give any attention to the inner world, and that is why we have created such a ruckus all around. So I think it should be more from inside out, and also from outside in, because mother, as she was sharing, that whatever task you are doing, do it with honesty and goodwill, knowing that in time you will be shown what truly is your vocation. But this willingness to find out has to be there. It's not going to be just one day in 24 hours I think about that, and then rest of the month I have not even thought about that. So like that, it does not come. For people whom it has come, they have worked their whole of a life towards this goal or task. So it's actually a adventure which requires a lot of persistence, perseverance, and a willingness and interest towards my own life. Otherwise, not a possibility. Somehow it's, yeah. And we also did, the moment I begin to sing my song, the first thing that he says, the song that I came to sing, the moment I begin to sing any song that I believe is my song, any expression of my being, immediately the mind will kick in. It'll say you are not good enough, so stop blabbering. But we have to actually honor our expression, no matter how imperfect, inarticulate it may be, and just shamelessly move on. There is a lot of shamelessness required here, because many a times your closest friends won't be there to buck you up. Only you would be alone, and he himself has read Ekla Chalo, when nobody is around you, you know the path, you just go on alone, all by yourself. And there are phases in life where no friend stands by you, I personally have experienced that, and you're all by yourself, there is no one standing next to you, and still you turn up, you show your face. So it has to be a shameless expression, no matter how imperfect, inarticulate it may be. We all are imperfect, and we have to start from imperfection only. We cannot, in one baby step, become perfect in one day. Perfection is a long process, long journey. We never reach perfection. We can always journey towards perfection. We can never reach perfection. So knowing that, I have to begin with my inarticulate steps, no matter how crude, raw they may appear, no matter how what expressions they may put on people's face. If I am convinced that this is my expression, I have to blurt it out. So a kind of a shamelessness has to be there, and daring to be alone on this path.
So it's interesting, Mike, is in what you share, there's almost like I mean, I'm enjoying this exploration, you know, of like inner with outer, and then I hear in what you're saying then that if it ends up being that one is solo, that there isn't an obvious other that one is serving, or another human being, right? At least in the initial stages, perhaps. Such as, for example, wanting to commune, or wanting to do more activities that feel like they bring me closer to the divine, that it's still okay. You know, it's like giving myself permission to do that. Because I think, I don't know if it's societal or even from a more it seems a spiritual point of view, perhaps it's just altruistic, that, oh, you're supposed to touch other people. You know, if I'm doing pursuits that just bring me a lightness and allow me to be a rose, just like the way a rose just by being itself is offering something to the world, and it leaves me not in contact with other people or not obviously serving other people, then it's not okay. But I hear in your thing, it's no, it can be perfectly fine if that's what makes one feel like this is part of being me.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And rose is not waiting. We are waiting for people to touch us. Rose is not waiting. That, oh my God, when will someone come and pick me and touch me? It's indifferent. It's self-absorbed. And also compassionate and loving in its own accord, because when somebody plucks it off, it's okay there also. So that human touch, it's not saying that no, I don't want any human touch, I want to be self-absorbed. No, not like that. So there is no preference there, that either I want to be with the society or want to be alone. First, self-absorption must happen. All the people who have given anything that resonates with us today, for example, Kabir or Tagore or Rumi or Hafiz, all the people, they have first come in absolute touch with their own being. They have become very intimate with their own self. And that is why they are now serving so many billions, trillions of us. Because if you touch yourself deeply, if you know yourself deeply, you have known the mankind. And hence, whatever you say will serve others. But in doing that, you are not wanting that, oh my God, this should serve others. Hafiz or Rumi was not wanting that this should be serving anyone. He was just on his own explorative journey, and whatever came out from that explorative journey became an offering to the world. So it happened by a chance. It was a byproduct of his journey. So Tagore's journey, it is a byproduct of his journey that we read Gitanjali today. So without being on my journey for a long, 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 long time, how can I expect to spill something out which could help? So the task or the orientation of the mind should not be whether it is helping or not. Is it helping you? If it's helping you, the right path to take. And if it's helping you, it may or may not touch lives. That is none of your concern. Is it helping you? If the path is helping you progress, go on and on that path. Do not stop. And that itself would be a beautiful offering. Again and again, mind would come up, bring up all the doubts from society and what you have been conditioned to believe in. But again, we have to chuck those doubts out, and we have to just sincerely stick to this inward journey, whether or not. So there is no preference, with or without people around, doesn't matter. At times I am with people, okay. At times I am left alone. It's not in joy that I enjoy being left alone, but I take that as my path. So that kind of a samta or equanimity, I think, is needed, because that's how it is.
Monica, I have a question. Um, actually, you and I have spoken about this earlier, and we can discuss it later if you think that it's beyond the scope of today's discussion. But then, if given what you're saying, so I have two questions. One is, what then becomes the role of practicality? Like, how do you define practicality? Like, if I actually find so much joy and peace in just being with myself and spending a lot of time in solitude, that my day job suffers sometimes. So the role of practicality, and second, like for children or for young adults, right? Is this, would you say that this concept would be applicable to them as well, or what are your thoughts on
Yeah.
younger folks?
Yeah. So you think that being with yourself, Aditi, you would not be able to perform practical tasks? Does that hamper your practical movements, being with yourself?
Um, no, not all the time. Actually, there are times that it makes me more efficient. So I'm able to do more in less time, actually. So I'm able to manage it. But just that, just need to be by myself is really going very high. And, I have a family and work to. So I sometimes worry. I mean, so far I'm doing all right. But I think there's just that little nagging thing in the back of my head, that what if I just want to one fine day say, you know what, like I just want to be with myself, and then what's going to happen?
Okay. I think there is a confusion here, and correct me if I'm not understanding. So you are thinking that being with yourself means you are not with others, or
Uh,
you are
prac-
completely in solitude. Is that what you are
yeah,
meaning?
yeah, practically, like for practical day to day
Yeah.
jobs or transactions, then like if there's only so much time in a day, and if a lot of it is going towards just
Practical
me being with
day-to-day.
me,
Yeah.
then what happens
Yeah.
to the tasks, just
Okay.
the tasks, like the to-do lists of tasks.
So I would like to
For
clarify a little, because I think there is a confusion between being alone with yourself and being with yourself and then in being involved in the world. So I can be with myself and I can still be engaged in worldly activities. Do you know what I mean? I can completely be self-absorbed and I can still do all the tasks that are required, and as you said, sometimes even more efficiently, because you're not scattered, you are ingathered, as if all the पतंग उड़ाते हैं तो वो चरखी का धागा छोड़ते हैं ना आगे की तरफ, तो as if all the
Hmm.
dhaga has been collected within you. Your threads of consciousness are not scattered all around. This is what I mean by being
Hmm.
yourself. It does not mean that you're sitting all by yourself in a separate room. At times you may want that also, but it does not mean that. It means that you are ingathered. Your consciousness remains ingathered. It does not go and poke out in other people's affairs all the time. It's an ingathered consciousness. And then you are all the time always engaged in whatever worldly tasks are needed to be done. That is what I was meaning by remaining, being with yourself, or self absorbed. So, a self absorbed person does not mean that he's not engaging with the world. He's absolutely with the world, but he's not demanding something from the world. He's not poking his nose into people's affairs all the time, which we excessively do at most of the times. So this is what I meant by being self-absorbed. And it would not hamper, as you already shared, it would not hamper any practical task. In fact, it would make you more efficient.
Got it, Monica.
And also, if it's making you efficient, wouldn't it make our children efficient?
Hmm. Hmm.
Being with yourself, just being with yourself. Almost you can tell your child, be with yourself, be your bestest friend. Always be with yourself. So whether you are alone or with friends, doesn't matter. If you are alone, you are okay. If you are with friends, you are okay. You are not craving, oh my God, I'm not, I'm not liking that I'm alone. So we have to slowly become our bestest companion. That is what it means by being
Yeah,
self-aware.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you for clarifying. I
yeah.
think
Thank you for,
yeah, this is helpful.
yeah. So let us take this last one and then we can close the session. This is another poem. This is not from Gitanjali. Beggarly heart. When the heart is hard and parched up, come upon me with a shower of mercy. So it's almost like a prayer. When grace is lost from life, come with a burst of a song. When tumultuous work raises its din on all sides, shutting me out from beyond, come to me, my Lord of silence, with thy peace and rest. When my beggarly heart sits crouched, shut up in a corner, break open thy door, my King, and come with the ceremony of a king. When desire blinds the mind with delusion and dust, O thou Holy One, thou wakeful, come with thy light and thy thunder. Beautiful, almost like a prayer, which we can use in our especially times where we feel, we have lost a touch. Where is the touch? I've gotten so absorbed in the activities that I've lost the touch. At times we get this feeling. So this is kind of rising up like a prayer, how we see in mother's prayers and meditations. It's like rises up like a prayer, goes from the lower self to the higher self. Praise, you know to the higher self, that come comfort me, shower of mercy, burst of a song. And then when I am lost in the work, tumultuous work raises its din on all sides, shutting me out from the beyond. So as if you're lost touch with your depth, with your deeper self, owing to the fact that there is so much to do, so much to do, so much to do. Oh my Lord of silence, come with thy peace and rest. So this is how you come to me. When my beggarly heart sits crouched, referring to our moods, sometimes the emotional states go up and down, and we are just hard in our shell, crouching, shut up in a corner. Break open the door. So as if I am allowing the king or the higher self to come. Break open the door, my king, and come with the ceremony of a king. How beautiful. When desire blinds the mind, and we know that desires do blind the mind, they just become a dark cloud and we are not able to see anything but the desire goes on and on. When the desire blinds the mind with delusion and dust, what is the delusion it gives us? That once you have the object of the desire, you will be happy and content. Has it ever happened with each one of us? Only 2 minutes of a satisfaction and gone. 2 minutes of a satisfaction gone. Has it ever happened? And it would never happen. That is why it's a delusion. It's not going to happen. When the desire blinds the mind with delusion and dust, O thou Holy One, O thou wakeful, one who never sleeps in us, the one who never sleeps in us, ever present, ever aware, our own part of being. Come with thy light and thy thunder. Wake me up. Hmm? Yeah. So, any reflections, please share.
This is actually, as you rightly said, Monica, this is actually a prayer. And I think a prayer which really places our true selves on the pedestal that it needs to be, it deserves to be put at. Like we are really glorifying the inner part of us to come and rescue us from all the illusions that life has created around us. And the only thing that can rescue us is us ourselves. And that's what needs to be treated as a king and put on a pedestal. And I think it's beautiful the way the words come together. So I'm really going to probably put it on my desktop, read it every day. It's really, really powerful and beautiful.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, so yes, Swapna, please share. Yeah.
Oh, I was simply going to mention that yes, it's like it's a like I can't think of the word I'm thinking of, but anyway, like an ode to the vital. I mean, sorry, not the vital, the psychic being. To against the vitals. If I were to use the terms of Sri Aurobindo's yoga, and again, just the acknowledgement of both. That our being has all these parts, and just giving that homage and yes, that due place of king, and really opening, inviting the receptivity aspect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially this when grace is lost from life, come with a burst of song, so there's like the joyful element and celebration. And again, the comfort, all of it present. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's interesting, this line, when my beggarly heart, we know that we keep on begging. We have talked about this a lot of time, something or the other, we are always begging. And the only thing that can fulfill that begging is this, that you place, as Swapna was sharing, the due throne is to be given to the king who deserves that place and not just anyone else, anything else. Only then can we be satiated. And let me just close, if not anything else, with these 3-4 lines of Savitri, which resonate with what we were discussing today. Uh, O mortal, bear this great world's law of pain. In thy hard passage through a suffering world, lean for thy soul's support on heaven's strength. So whenever we are breaking, we are in pain and we need support, Sri Aurobindo says, lean for thy soul's support on heaven's strength. This exactly what we read here. Come with the ceremony of a king, take support with the divine presence in you. Turn towards high truth, aspire to love and peace. Make of thy daily way a pilgrimage. So every day has to become a tirth yatra, a pilgrimage. That is what we were talking earlier, of purifying ourselves slowly. For through small joys and griefs, thou movest towards God. So that's how we move towards the divine with our little movements of life, little challenges, little pains, little sorrows, or bigger ones. That's how we move towards the divine. And what matters at the end is only this, whether we move towards the divine or not. Only this matters. How many challenges we faced or not does not matter. What matter is what was the move that we made, whether it was towards the divine or not. Because why it matters, I believe, because it also is beneficial for each one of us. It somehow comforts us and makes us fulfilled, and only then can we begin to live a life which is kind of an expression or an self-offering in this universe. So yeah, lots of things to be done. Long path. Yeah. So anything, if there is anything, please share, else we can close it here.
Monica, I would appreciate if maybe on this chat or somewhere you could share where that first quote of the mothers around, you know, like vocation and that you read, where that was from, or yeah,
Yeah,
it was
so
very
I can
sweet.
share it on the I can share it on the group. Yeah, I'll just take a photo and share it on the group. Yeah, great. Thank you then. Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening and sharing and reflecting. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Monica. Thank you, everyone. It was really very comforting and beautiful today. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you, everyone.